Any more questions for David out there? Raise your hand. Mongo
Yes, this
the
gentleman
trucker.
in the blue has a question.
That's Mongo!
Somebody said you're gay. I heard you were a Heeblew.
Oh, hey, the first one of the day. Looks a lot easier
But
on this side of the glass.
Usually I have Travis as my filter. So.
Ooh. Yeah, he tries
Yeah,
some material out.
certainly.
Travis
Why don't you explain it some more?
Yeah.
I actually didn't even hear what you said.
How do I respond to that one?
I didn't hear what he said.
I don't fall for that, Jimmy. Thanks.
It was somebody else that brought. Yeah. Here was something that happened in the church. Brother Wease was there.
Oh, yes.
Who obviously very important as far as Opie's career goes. We've heard about Brother Wease for many years. He went up and did, I guess, the reading that goddamn letters to the Corinthians or from the Corinthians, whatever.
Yes.
I don't know what that is. But he went up, and the first thing he did, he gets up, and it's a long walk from the pew up to the microphone. He had to go all the way around the altar and everything. It took a while.
Yes.
And he finally reaches the little pulpit area with the microphone and grabs the sides of the podium and leans in and goes, "Is this on?" And it was like uber silence. It went beyond quiet. And yeah, all I feel about 3 minutes later is a vibration in my pocket, which is my iPhone. And I pull it out and check the text that came in, and it is from my pal Jimmy Norden. And it just says, "Is this thing on?" And then in quotes, "crash." And then the whole thing just turned into a texting match between the entire show staff.
Dude, somebody pointed out the laugh. And I'm sure Wease would have laughed if somebody had a car crash on their phone and had played the car crash. And
Right at that moment.
It would have been the biggest laugh you've ever heard anything get.
Because it was pure, unadulterated silence.
Church silence.
Church silence. Not even that little low mumbling in church silence. Everyone was completely just taken by the fact that was not funny.
It was so. All right, here's how it went. You got to play this how it should have went with the correct. All right, is this thing on? No. Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, take two. And now with the reading of the letter from the Corinthians, Brother Wease. That's the walk up.
Yeah.
It's taking a while.
Is this thing on? A letter from Paul to the Corinthians.
He didn't know he was reading till he got there. He was sitting next to me.
Did he really not know?
He didn't
way.
know. I'm not lying. He didn't
You know
he was
something
reading.
from the seating thing? I don't doubt it.
He didn't know he was reading. And
I was getting scared that I was going to be, and now Anthony is going to come up and juggle.
Yes.
He said
a read off from a read off.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
From Mein Kampf?
No, of course. I was going to say a reading from Goebbels to the Corinthians. I said a read off because I'm talentless.
A reading from Hitler to his incompetent generals.
How dare you defy me? And then he goes and Anthony sits down again. Go ahead, sorry.
No, nothing. He was just looking at the, the, what do you call it?
The program. There were programs that were handed out.
The program, and he saw his name, and he was like, and he had to open the show. I mean, he was like the first reader too.
Yeah, that was the big opener.
And it had to be scary. I mean, you're up top there. That wasn't like, I mean, he was up there like, that's where the Pope probably goes when he's in town. That, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
He's
whatever
a radio
happens
guy,
there.
dude. He's fine with reading. He probably just would like to have a little. He wasn't
a little notice maybe, and not, you know, something. It's just something about radio guys, because I tried the same thing at some dopey awards show where you try to make a joke and it just doesn't work.
It was like watching one of your buddies. Because, you know, his show is back on, by the way. They're back on in Rochester.
Yes.
It's funny that one of your friends makes a joke and it bombs. And it was just funny. It was like,
oh, yeah.
It could have been any one of us that went up there and said something that bombed and would have been.
Yeah. But the only response we had was dead silence. We couldn't go like, ah,
you couldn't.
Or, boo. You know, so it was just this dead silence, which was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because it's a church.
Yeah. Then we just started, like I said, just text bombing each other about everything in the church and the gospel. Of course, I had some comments about the gospel singers. Yeah, hoping none of those texts got
You must love bones.
Yes, I certainly do.
He's got a big bone.
I have to go to sickbay to see Bones.
I guess he saw Bones and then went to sick bay. Boo again.
No, the best part of that was Danny's "Get out of my way, Gem coming." Fucking Danny's mic's up against the window. He jumped up and crashed in like, folks, wait till you get a load of this.
Okay, faggot, what's next?
It's funny you should ask, sir.